Alrighty. Hello, everyone. So, we're going to be going over UFC 314, breaking down what happened during the card. Starting from the bottom here, we got Nora Cornell versus Haley Cohen. Now, this was a pretty good fight for Nora Cornell. She ended up getting the submission victory over Haley Cohen. I actually had her by KO in round one or two, but she got the submission victory in round two, so close enough, whatever. But she ended up missing weight, which is just not a good look. So don't think we're gonna get the most favorable matchup for her next. But either way, good little first fight to start off. Is boring at first, but once she got the submission, it started to set the tone for the rest of the fight card. Because this fight card had a lot of finishes. Moving up, I don't know why the website is like this right now. It's like doing this weird thing. But Marco Tulio versus Tresean Gore. Marco Tulio just all gas, no brakes, put it on Tresean Gore. Just pow, pow, pow. And he's following up with so many dynamic combinations on him. He threw a kick out that ended up missing and then followed up with like a lunging punch afterwards to the guy. And yeah, completely took out Tresean Gore, man. He was definitely doing good. He was absorbing some shots. He was throwing some back of his own. I believe he wobbled Marco Tulio as well at one point. But other than that, it was all Marco Tulio. He really messed up Tresean Gore's face. And yeah, I believe it was round two. I don't know. Again, I don't know why it's doing it like this, but I think they messed up on their website, whatever. But yeah, Marco Tulio got it done. I believe it was around two KO, or I think it was round one. Either way, he got the KO victory like I predicted. Moving on to Sumadarji versus Mitch Raposo. I had Sumadarji by round one or round two KO. But he ended up getting the decision victory. And yeah, Mitch Rasapo, he only threw 13 strikes the whole fight. I don't understand what it is with these new prospects coming in that are high level grappling prospects that are seriously, only diving for legs. Like, it is not a good look. Mitch Raposo, he was sure throwing a couple of strikes back, but like, it was all Sumadarji. You need, like, if you're going to be going up against a long, lengthy guy, you need to be game planning on how to close the distance on him to land some strikes too. It can't just be to get the takedown and take him down and stuff like that. You need to be dynamic in how you engage, choose to engage the fight. Because if he stuffs all your takedowns, which he was stuffing a lot of his takedowns, or he was getting right back up, you know, he got 6 of 19 takedowns. So again, like, he's stuffing a lot of them. And then when he was held down, he just popped right back up. And Sumdarji just held the center of the octagon really well, just popping off good shots, catching him with some good hooks. And yeah, Mitch Raposo acted all surprised that he lost. It shouldn't have been a split decision. It should have been a majority decision for Sumdarji, but I guess one judge gave it to him for the takedowns or whatever. But again, he did nothing with those takedowns, man. Absolutely nothing. When you take someone down, you gotta be, and we'll get to him, but you gotta be boom, boom, landing strikes, just constantly looking for ways to cause damage. And if you're just holding them on the ground, it's not gonna be as heavily favored as you might think. But yeah, anyways, moving on. To Bunkgang versus Michael Olasejek. Now, looking back at it, this was a terrible pick on my end for picking Bunkgang. I knew he made bad decisions. I knew he was a really risky pick. But man, during this fight, he just totally just bitched out, if I'm going to be completely honest. There was at one point in the fight where he looked like he was going to be the aggressor. He was backing up. He was constantly covering up and dipping down in such a weird way. It's like it was the first time he'd ever been like starting to get striked at in the UFC, because he was just completely backing up and running away. Michael Olasejek ended up, I believe it was a knockdown. I forget ended up how he ended up getting him down, but he just started ground and pounding him. And yeah, even though Cedric Dumas was he wasn't like completely out of it. He was definitely showing that he was rolling with it. But if you can't just sit there and absorb punches, like there's still like 3 minutes left in the round. The ref isn't just gonna let you sit there and just go the whole time. Like you look like you're in a finished position, man. You can't be on your back absorbing strikes, covering up. Like that's not a way to improve. So, um, in hindsight, should have picked Michael Olasejek. Would have made my pick rate a little bit higher. I wanted to pick him too, but I was like, okay, he's a good underdog. You could catch him with something silly. And that's what I was kind of hoping for Cedric Dumas to throw some crazy, silly shit and catch Michael Olasejek. But he didn't even try to throw anything crazy. I think he threw like, only threw three punches, man. And they were like running away shots, like, oh, get off, get away. And yeah, just not a good look for Cedric Dumas. I don't know else he fights in the UFC, honestly, because that was a horrible look on his end. Yeah, but anyways, Michael Olasejek gets it done, proves to 20-9, which is not terrible, not terrible. Moving up, Darren Elkins, Julian Erosa. Again, this is another one where I was like, why did I pick Darren Elkins? It's hard for me to remember why I picked Darren Elkins. I think I just had bet for him to get past the first round and kind of do his thing of just wet blanketing and just constantly coming forward like a zombie throwing shots. His Julian Erosa, his 13-12, it's like he could have had another one thrown on there for make it 13 losses by Darren Elkins, but yeah, no, Darren Elkins took away too much damage, which is funny because his tattoo is the damage. But yeah, he got pieced up the whole fight. Honestly, he was getting absolutely destroyed. Ended up getting the KO/TKO over him in round one. And yeah, it was pretty evident after the first couple of shots. It was like they were very slow shots, but they were very strong shots because Darren Elkins was not liking it. He was shaking his head and trying to get away, but yeah, Julian Erosa got all over him and took him out. And yeah, that again in hindsight, I don't know why I didn't pick Julian Erosa. I would have been up. I think I was 7-5. I would have been 9-5, which is pretty good pick rate. Better than not 9-5. That doesn't make any sense. I would have been 9-3, which is much better than 7-5. But anyways, moving up from Darren Elkins on Chase Hooper and Jim Miller. Chase Hooper gets it done. Not the finish that we wanted from him. He spent too much time gooning during camp, apparently, which, we're going to need to address, Chase. You can't be gooning multiple times before camp because, again, like you said, his forearms were all fizzled out and all burnt out. So, yeah, we're going to need to keep him. We're going to need him to keep his strength, get on a nice semen retention type of game plan next time, and maybe that'll make him stronger. Because you'll have that forearm strength to maybe put on some more damage. But he was just kind of out. He was really out grappling Jim Miller the whole time, out striking him too. Jim Miller landed a couple good shots, but again, nothing crazy. I think Chase Hooper got like the tiniest little welt under his eye. But other than that, it was all Chase Hooper, kind of doing whatever he wanted. I don't know why it has 2 sub attempts for Jim Miller and 1 for Chase Hooper, because Chase Hooper was throwing in it felt like 30 sub attempts. He got him in a lot of weird positions. One of the weirdest ones was where he kind of had him in like a spladle a little bit, like he was gonna, he was on his body was on one side of the leg, and his feet were on the other, and he was like kind of trying to wrap his head around his leg and like do something with the other leg. Yeah, crotch ripper, whatever the hell he was doing, did not look very good for Jim Miller to be in. And yeah, it sucks for Jim Miller. He wants to get a couple more wins, and I think he's like got 38 wins in the UFC. He wants to get to like at least 40. That'd be pretty crazy. But yeah, unfortunately, I mean not unfortunately. Fortunately, Chase Hooper gets it done and gets my pick. So that makes another positive pick for me. Anyways, moving up. Yan Xiaonan versus Brandon Jandaroba. Now, Veranda Jandiroba gets it done against Yan Xiaonan by decision. I had Yan Xiaonan by decision, but Veranda Jandiroba just, again, a lot more grappling, and strike wise, apparently she threw more strikes. I honestly didn't look that way to me. I felt like Yan Xiaonan was throwing out more strikes, but I guess Veranda Jandiroba was landing more ground strikes, so maybe that's what it was. But anyways, I mean, not too much to be said about this fight. This kind of fight was one of those fights where you kind of went to the bathroom and you took your break or whatever. Not much to give on this fight, honestly. I guess Verena Jandiroba is up next for a title shot, honestly, because she was number one and she was number three, so kind of makes sense. Strawweight, that's Zhang Weili. So yeah, Zhang Weili versus Verena Jandiroba. I believe she's on an 8-fight win streak, so good for her. Should be an interesting matchup. A lot of grappling problems for Zhang Weili, but yeah, other than that, kind of boring if I'm going to be honest. But anyways, moving up, Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. Now this one was a robbery. I'm just going to be honest, okay? Sean Woodson was doing okay. They're even on, he's a little bit ahead on strikes wise. I don't know why the judges, by the way, had it 2 rounds up for Dan Ige. That was absolutely crazy. Sean Woodson was totally landing more shots than Dan Ige. And he was doing a good job taking damage too from Dan Ige. And there was a couple times where it looked a little like, ooh, he landed pretty good on there. But man, that stoppage was too early, man. He was literally like coming on his way up. He only took like, I think it was like 3 hammer fist shots to the side of the head, and then he was coming up, and he was literally standing up. And now you could argue Danny Ige would have pushed him against the fence and then delivered the knockout blow, but we got to see something. We got to see stuff like that play out, because if he's standing up after absorbing those shots and getting ready to defend himself intelligently, why are we stopping the fight? It made no sense. I feel really bad for Sean Woodson. This was the chance for him to get into top 15, and yeah, now he's probably gonna have to fight like 2 more unranked guys before he gets that opportunity again. And yeah, good for Dan Ige. He definitely caught him at that shot, withstood the storm of Sean Woodson. But yeah, I don't think it was a good stoppage. I really don't. I'm pretty disappointed in that. But what can he do? What can he do? Anyways, moving on. Nikita Krylov, Dominic Reyes. Now let's go. I had Dominic Reyes round 2 or round 3 to get the KO or TKO, because I thought it would be a Nikita Krylov round 1, honestly. But man, Dominic Reyes just popped him with the perfect stepping back shot, man. Showing that he still has really good power in his hands to take out people. And yeah, he slept Nikita Krylov real bad. Really great for Dominic Reyes. I think he gets a top 5 fight next. I think you could give him a Jan Blachowicz rematch, maybe. That would be pretty good. Because Jan's coming off of a loss to, what's his name? Carlos Olberg. But yeah, he could have Dominic Reyes against any of those top 5, even top 6, 7 guys. Throw him up in there. And yeah, because Nikita Krylov was 8, Dominic Reyes, I believe, was 12 or 13 or something like that. And yeah, being able to step up and take out Nikita Krylov like that is really good. I was really worried for Dominic Reyes because Nikita Krylov, he starts off the rounds pretty crazy. And I was thinking, I think he'll be able to get out of the first round. Maybe he has some damage, but I think he'll catch him in the second or third. But he ended up catching him in the first. Yeah, really great exchange for Dominic Reyes. Really happy for him. 3-fight losing streak, now going on to a 3-fight winning streak. So he's definitely turning it around, proving people wrong, which is nice to see as well. So yeah, really happy for Dominic Reyes. Hope he gets that top 5 fight next, and if he wins it, he's gonna be back right at the title. Right at the title, he's gonna be back. So great to see that happen for Dominic Reyes. And then yeah, we're gonna be moving on. Oh man. This one is tough, man. This one was tough. Yeah, this one is tough. Bryce Mitchell ahead on total strikes, and that's something I didn't expect. But yeah, John Silva chokes him out. He's got a nasty submission game too. Um, Bryce Mitchell was just not ready for, and he got it, locked it up, and he took out Bryce Mitchell. I don't want to say easily, but round one, I can give that to Bryce Mitchell. And then round two, you know, he knocked him down. He's still doing pretty well. He was doing okay. He wasn't like getting completely dominated by John Silva. Um, he just got put in that position and just cranked down, and yeah, he just wasn't ready for it. Did not fight hands like he should have. Uh, but great win for John Silva. This is going to be great for him. This is going to be great for his career. Lots of edits, lots of fans are going to be coming from this. Going to get a lot of John Silva fans out of nowhere. Honestly, a lot of Mitchell shitting on. Look, I don't think Bryce Mitchell's a bad person. I really don't. I'm sorry. I know people are gonna be like, he's a Nazi sympathizer. You know, he's not. Listen to what he actually has to say. Watch his full interviews and stuff like that. He's not a hateful person, dude. Like, I don't understand. I know it's easy to make fun of him. Oh, he's a crazy redneck. He thinks the Earth is flat, and you know, he, uh, God isn't real and stuff like that. Like, y'all need it. Maybe I picked Bryce Mitchell obviously to win, so of course I'm going to be a little bit salty. And yeah, rightfully so, because John Silva, the what's annoying is people who have different viewpoints of Bryce Mitchell now are going to use John Silva winning basically to be like, blah blah blah. Now you guys, yeah, what are you guys gonna do now? Our guy beat your guy, and it's like, is he really your guy? And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Like, is he really your guy though? Like, you know. But yeah, good for him. Ended up getting the win for his people of Israel. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, really great for John Silva. Fighting Nerds, man, they are on a crazy tear right now. 19-0 they are at right now. John Silva is now 5-0. Marcio Rufy 4-0. Carlos Prates also, I believe, 4-0. And Kyle Baralho is 7-0. So crazy. They got something going. They have something really special going on over at the Fighting Nerds, and this is UFC's like next big thing. They already got fight promos being pumped out for these guys. Lots of merch. They had UFC nerd glasses. They had the UFC logo on their nerd glasses for the post fight interview for John Silva. So I mean, like, they're fully in on the Fighting Nerds, and it's good for the UFC. It's going to bring in a lot of people, a lot of fans. Just sucks for Bryce Mitchell. He'll come back though. He'll get a good fight in next time, and I think he'll end up winning his next fight, honestly. And he'll be back in that top 15, top 10 kind of situation after another fight. But yeah, John Silva's on to now much bigger fights, and yeah, people in the featherweight division, they gotta look out for John Silva because he has amazing striking, a lot of confidence. He definitely doesn't look like he gets tired out there. That was one thing I was expecting to happen in round two, is for John Silva to get tired, and he just wasn't, man. He's extremely happy and comfortable in there, which is something that to be, pretty scared if you're his opponent, for how comfortable and how much he likes being in the cage. Crazy guy, super autistic. He's getting on that cage, and it is hilarious. A lot of memeable moments, So yeah, good for John Silva. Again, sucks for Bryce Mitchell. He'll be back though. He'll be back, guys. He'll be back. This is not the decline of Bryce Mitchell. I promise you that. I promise you. But I could be wrong. Also, but anyways, moving on. Yair Rodriguez and Patricio Pitbull Kind of like I predicted, except he didn't get the TKO or KO or TKO in round one like I was expecting him to. He did drop Pitbull, I believe it was round three, but yeah, he was just doing whatever he wanted to Pitbull. Pitbull just looked old, like I expected him to. A lot of people, again, there's a lot of people that were like, yeah, Patricio Pitbull's gonna show why he's one of the best in the world and has always been one of the best in the world. PFL Bellator, guys. It's confirmed. B Leagues confirmed, absolutely confirmed. Now with Michael Chandler also losing as well, and some of these Bellator guys just not being able to stick around. I mean, sure we have Eddie. Oh, I just dropped my pen. Ugh. Sure we have Eddie Alvarez. He won a championship, and there's been a couple of people, I believe. I forget who else from Bellator that has won a championship. Hard to think of that right now, but Patricio Pitbull just had no answers. To be honest, this was like the worst stylistic matchup that they could give him. I thought they would give him. Who was I thinking that they were gonna give him? Featherweight. Honestly, anyone in the top five other than Yair Rodriguez would have been a much better matchup for Patricio Pitbull. Because yeah, Yair Rodriguez too long, too lengthy. Too many kicks for Patricio Pitbull to close the distance. Yair Rodriguez was just so snappy and so fast with the kicks. Kind of like Conor McGregor says, if your kick is like a whip, then they cannot grab it. And that was the case because Patricio Pitbull, a lot of times, he tried to grab that leg, and I think he had one or two successful attempts to like push Yair Rodriguez against the cage or just get him off balance with it, but he never got to really take down Yair and completely hold him and dominate him there. Yair was doing a great job, basically getting out of those takedowns, and yeah, he's kind of doing whatever he wanted to Patricio Pitbull. It was a pretty dominant fight. Feel bad for Patricio because this was supposed to be his victory, and he's supposed to get these big matchups and stuff like that. Put all this hype out for himself, where he's talking about he's gonna become the new champion, and everyone's gonna bow down to him. Gonna be a three-time type of champion. I think maybe four-time. Did he win the Rising Championship? I don't know. But yeah, not good for Patricio Pitbull. Really great for Yair Rodriguez. Now we can set up the Diego Lopez fight. I'll talk about the Diego Lopez Volk fight in a couple minutes. But yeah, really great for Yair Rodriguez. Gets it done against Patricio Pitbull. He dropped him. Definitely gets him a fight. Maybe not for the title, but definitely next in line for title contention. I think he fights Diego Lopez, and I think that shoots him up for a title contention next for Yair Rodriguez. So good fight for against Patricio Pitbull. Still a good fight. But anyways, moving up. Performance of the night bonus. Of course he did. Man, no, oh my gosh, I am so happy about this one. This one makes the night better for me because of the Bryce Mitchell loss. This one made my night much better because Paddy Pimblett beating up on Michael Chandler, round 3 KO TKO. Now I had him in round 2 or 3 submission, and he was thrown in that rear naked against Michael Chandler. But he just started bashing Michael Chandler up, man, and he had him figured out on the feet quick. Started leg kicking him brutally that Michael Chandler was not liking, and just absolutely causing problems for him everywhere. On the feet, on the ground. There was no place for Michael Chandler to be safe. Beautiful knee by Paddy Pimblett, catches Michael Chandler, chases him down, gets on top of him. I think it was Chandler tried to take Pimblett's back in the third round. He got him into position, and then Paddy shook him off, got on top of him, got him out, and just started pounding him and elbowing him and just bloodying him up. He really messed up Michael Chandler's face. He got a huge cut under his cheek, got another couple cuts, I believe, on the other side of his face. But he was just mauling Chandler, and this was a really scary performance for other people in the lightweight division for the way Paddy Pimblett took out Michael Chandler. I thought Paddy Pimblett might get rocked, honestly, by Michael Chandler. He took a clean shot from Chandler and was just, what, lad? What does that mean, lad? And then just fucking beat the shit out of him, man. He really did. Um, there was again, like I said, there's no place safe for Michael Chandler, but it was really evident on the ground against Michael Chandler that Paddy Pimblett's ground game is something the lightweight division has to really be scared of. I mean, even Charles Oliveira, man, wasn't doing stuff like this to Michael Chandler. Justin Gaethje wasn't. Yeah, I know he dropped Chandler, but I mean, I feel like striking wise, he did the best out of everyone so far against Chandler. Um, really put it on him. The low kicks were beautiful. His low kick game is something to be scared of as well, because he starts chopping on those low kicks hard and in the same spot with that accuracy, man. It's gonna cause problems. I mean, I think he beats Gaethje. I think that's the next fight to make, and I think he beats Justin Gaethje. I really do. It will be a fun fight, definitely. Justin is definitely going to be much more well composed than Chandler and less likely to make dumb decisions. He will not try to grapple Paddy Pimblett at all. There will be no grappling from Justin Gaethje against Paddy Pimblett. He will be strictly trying to take Paddy Pimblett's head off, and that might be the best try to route of victory against Paddy Pimblett, is to try to catch him with something. But even still, man, his chin has not been tested. His chin has been really durable. And we see now, it's funny, Michael Chandler was calling Paddy Pimblett's hands bird hands. But his hands were looking great. He was landing a good 1-1-2, and then good uppercuts. He was throwing those out there, and good hooks too on Chandler as well. Chandler just had no answers for Paddy Pimblett. He did not look good. He did not look even top 15 material, honestly. I think Chandler might need to call that. I think he might need to call that as his last fight. I don't know who else he fights in the lightweight division, because I'm assuming his next fight he's gonna want to be, I'm sure he's gonna be one of those guys. I gotta go out on a win. I gotta go out and stuff like that. Because now he's 2-6 in his UFC fights. He's gonna want to go out and be like, I did my best, going out with a win. He's definitely gonna want some sort of fighting MSG or somewhere big. Try to use his name as much as he can for his last fight. I mean, he's still a decently big name, but getting beat by Paddy like that and not really being able to have any moments is not good. It's really not. And Paddy was 12 during this, and Michael Chandler was 7. Maybe they do something where Paddy becomes 7 and Michael Chandler becomes 8, and they move everyone downwise. But they could also just flip spots too, where now Michael Chandler's number 12 and Paddy Pimblett's number 7, and yeah, really rough for Michael Chandler. Really rough for him. Really sucks for him, but really great for Paddy Pimblett. I'm really excited for the lightweight division to be getting these newer guys in. Paddy Pimblett is the new guard coming in to kind of be in that top 5 now. Him versus Islam, that's it's becoming a more interesting fight. If he gets through Justin Gaethje or Charles Oliveira or Dustin Poirier, like the same way he did against Michael Chandler, where he's just piecing him up on the feet, leg kicking him, ground and pounding him to a pulp and stuff like that. Man, I believe he's on a 7-fight win streak in the UFC right now. That's really good. Say what you want about Paddy Pimblett. He looks goofy, fights weird, whatever you want to say. Dude is a problem. He is an absolute problem at lightweight, and really excited. Really excited. He's a big star too. Really big star. So it's great to have that in the lightweight division. I wouldn't say he has the same power as same star power as Conor, but it's almost there. I think if he were to win a championship, maybe if Islam moves up to 170 and he fights someone for the lightweight title, and then he fights Islam when he comes back, because I think Islam is going to end up moving up to 170. Maybe 2026, but if he doesn't, and Paddy Pimblett somehow beats him for the title, man, if he gets the title in any way, he's gonna become a much bigger name much, much bigger name. I mean, Conor was a big name before getting the championship, but when he got that championship, that's when it like really, really skyrocketed for him. And I think the same thing could happen to Paddy Pimblett. It's been a little bit of a slower rise up to the top than Conor was. Conor's rise was super fast, but man, Paddy's getting there, man. He's getting there, and he's not taking much damage. So they could get him back in there relatively quick, man. 5, 6 months, Paddy could be back fighting again by the end of the year. I really see that being a possibility, and hopefully it happens. Hopefully he gets that top matchup against Justin Gaethje or Dustin Poirier, beats them, because as much as I love those guys, they've been at the top 5 for a long time, and it's time for someone else to start challenging for the title. So yeah, Paddy Pimblett getting it done. Love to see it. Now moving on up to the main event. Another one. I got this one wrong, but I'm happy I got it wrong. I don't know why I put a check mark next to it. I gotta cross that off. I think that makes me actually 6-6 on my picks. Whatever. I had Diego Lopez by round 1 KO, and I am so glad I was wrong. I'm so glad. Obviously, if I was betting on this, I would not be happy, but yeah, I'm really happy for Alexander Volkanovski getting this done, man. He 165 to 71 strikes for against Diego Lopez. He had, even though Diego Lopez was putting off some punishing shots, he was just really winning the exchanges for the most part, landing like a lot of shots in the combinations, lots of like multiple hooks and just multiple combinations, sweeping him off his feet and a couple times. Just looked like Volk of old, doing all the things that he normally does. Did a good job eating the damage from Diego Lopez. Yeah, I think he was wobbled in round 2 a little bit. It looked scary for Volk, but other than that, man, it was all Volk. It was all Volk, and he got a takedown too. I know he failed a lot of the takedowns, but he was definitely trying to switch things up and move things on, which Diego Lopez was not. He was kind of holding his stance a little bit too long. He would land some good shots every now and then, but he wasn't being the constant aggressor, which Volk was. Volk was constantly aggressing. Even when he was backing up, he was landing shots against Diego Lopez. And Diego Lopez, even though he was aggressing forward, just wasn't really landing much of anything. And I know moving forward is, really great and winning fights and stuff like that and tires out the other guy. But if the other guy's landing strikes on you and just circling out of it, and you're not landing anything back, it's you're not winning it based off that. So yeah, Volkanovski getting it done. As far as it goes next for at 145, first of all, we skip Movsar Evloev. Movsar Evloev does not deserve to fight for the title. I'm gonna be completely honest. He beat Aljamain. I think his last win was Aljamain Sterling. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. That is not good enough to fight for Volkanovski. I know he's probably. I know most of our fans will be like, he's on a win streak and blah blah blah. There's no one else that's beating him and stuff like that. But he's so boring, bro. You really want to see him try to just grapple fuck Volkanovski for like the whole fight? That's what he's gonna be doing. Let's have I was gonna say, yeah, you're right. Rodriguez and Diego Lopez fight to see who it is, but no. Yair Rodriguez and Diego Lopez need a fight, and whoever wins that fights after whoever Volkanovski fights next for the championship. Shit, maybe it does need to be Movsar Evloev. I hate to give Movsar Evloev any shot at the title, because even though his style is boring, it is effective, and he could hold Volk against the fence for a while, but I'd like to see fucking anyone else in the top 8 of featherweight get a shot at Volkanovski versus fucking Movsar Evloev. I've been hating a lot of the talk where, you know, Movsar Evloev is being looked at to get this fight. You know, throw Aaron Pico against Movsar Evloev. I don't think that's been talked about enough this weekend. Aaron Pico is now in the UFC. He's coming in at featherweight. So there was rumors of him fighting Movsar Evloev, and the UFC, by the way, I don't think they like it when there's like fight rumors about a fight going down and the fans are really interested in and stuff like that. And then the guy comes out and goes, "Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be fighting him. Blah blah blah. I wouldn't fight him." You know, just you should never be refusing a fight. You should always be saying, "Yes, I'll fight him. I don't care. Yeah, I'll fight anyone." Because at the end of the day in the UFC, you're gonna have to fight if you want to be champion. You're gonna have to fight all those people in the division in the top 10. You're gonna be fighting a lot of them, so you're kind of gonna have to whether you like it or not. And yeah, I know we're getting another Bellator guy there in the top 5 of featherweight, but Aaron Pico is the real deal, and I'd like to see him and Movsar Evloev go at it, and maybe the winner of that fights for the title. But yeah, I'm really happy for Alex Volkanovski. I think this submits him as the featherweight goal. I know Aldo has 8 title defenses, but the way Volkanovski has been able to come back, 36 years old, 37 years old, I think that's what it is, and get the title back against a younger contender, that weighs a lot on that featherweight GOAT status. So I know Ilya Topuria knocked him out, but he's come back, man. And you know, if this Volk went against Topuria, where he was being a lot smarter with his exchanges and stuff like that, maybe he could have taken Ilya to decision and won. He was doing good in those first. I believe it was round 3 he got knocked out in, or no, it was round 2 I think he got knocked out in. But he was doing good for the most part up until he got knocked out against Ilya. And yeah, showed that he has his striking back. Grappling wise, didn't look too great, but you don't need to, and he's landing the in and out combinations that he was landing on Diego Lopez. And yeah, that was the full card. I'd give it about a 8-9 out of 10. It would have been 10 out of 10 if Bryce Mitchell won. Would have been 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 night. Still though, lot of finishes. Really exciting card. Jan Zonan was a stinker, and I was trying to think what else was a Suma Jamari fight was a stinker as well, kind of. But other than that, the card was really exciting. Lots of finishes. Very exciting card. Patty brings in a lot of eyes because I know I had a lot of friends that were interested in this fight that people normally just like, you know, sure UFC events number cards can be pretty big, but sometimes they just don't have that big fight feel, and this one had big fight feel with Patty versus Chandler and Diego Lopez versus Volkanovski. So yeah, great night for the UFC. Really excited to be seeing what's going on in the featherweight and lightweight division next. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your picks were. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day.